I'm Simon Goodburn and welcome to Wild Reviews. Today we're going to be checking out the the Aurora 1. Welcome to Wild Reviews. My name is Simon Goodburn and today we're going to be looking at the Aurora 1 tent by Wechsel. Wechsel, if you haven't heard of them before, is a German tent specialist. They pride themselves on durable, well-made tents, and this one's no exception. For a one-man tent, you've got plenty of space in here, and that's something that I certainly look for, being 6'3". I'll jump inside and it'll give you a bit of an idea. So as you can see, I've got plenty of space to be able to stretch out. Obviously, it's not, you know, a king-size bed, but that's not the point. Something like this is perfect, is a perfect blend of, you know, having all the room you need, but still being confined enough to, you know, pack down into something that's quite portable. Some of the things that I can notice immediately are that it's got a really good vent, that the outer shell of the tent has got a nice gap between the inner membrane. The tub lines sit quite high, which is fantastic because it'll keep you away from any moisture on the ground. Because of the quality of the build, it's really going to be an all-season tent and one of those ones that you buy and have forever. If the weather does crank up, I'm going to be confident that it's going to withstand a gale because it's got so many useful lashing points all over it, so we can really cinch it down tight. For a one-man tent, the ease of access is really good. As you can see, the size of the doors really nice and wide, as with the opening. This is actually an awning that will roll out to some hiking poles. Not only do Wechsel make tents, but they also make sleeping mats, and this particular tent pairs really well with the Nubo Air Sleeping Mat. One of the great things about this sleeping mat is that it has got a texture underneath it that stops it from sliding around. And one of the things that grinds me so much when you're in a tent space is you know, having a mat that's sliding around underneath you during the night. So that's a massive bonus for me. It's also got wool inside of it. It's got a construction that is quite undulating, which is useful you know, for uneven ground like this. I mean, I've got rocks underneath me, I've got sticks. The levels are all different, but because of this mat, it kind of accommodates for all of those. And so when I'm lying down on it, I'm still really comfortable and don't feel inconvenienced. Okay, so one of the questions on everyone's lips is always to do with the setup of a tent. And I must say that the first time you set this up, it takes a little bit longer than you would hope, but there's a reason for that. And the reason is because you have these two separate frames, you have to attach the inner part of the tent to the outside. Once you've done that once, then it just means that it's set up forever. You can pack it down normally, you don't have to worry about it again. So I would suggest that setting it up for the first time on the trail is probably not the best idea. I would probably recommend setting it up, or at least getting the two parts of the tents attached at home before you head out on the trail, just to save you some time. As for the weight, it's just a fraction under 2.5 kilos. So it's certainly not the lightest one-man tent on the market, but the build quality is so high that you'd probably consider having the extra grams on your back. Come in and have a chat with some of our specialists at Wild Earth and you can see what combinations are going to be the best fit for you when you're in the market for a new tent.